That shit was crazy as hell. Man.
Oh, hold on. We got here, Ray B.
Smell like, oh my goodness.
What's up, y'all? I'm Chef Judasia Johnson here with INTHECITY podcast, and I have prepared a beautiful dish. Actually, one of my favorite fishes.
Told me to model it for you.
Yes. Okay, work it. It's a beautiful Arctic char that has been pan-seared, and it's accompanied by a garlic mashed potato and a roasted asparagus, and also a beautiful lemon beurre blanc on top.
Hey, y'all ain't gonna get this at the cookout. You're
At all.
You gotta pay for this.
You have to pay.
You gotta pay for this if you want this, man.
There it is.
Ready?
All right. INTHECITY podcast is John, aka Dojo,
And it's your boy Ray B.
and we got the girl Judasia here.
Yes, what's up with it? How y'all doing?
Long time friend.
Man,
But
super
right
long
now, yeah, I know y'all see this food right here. You know
so
what
while
I'm
we
saying?
talking to him, our little fat ass is gonna be over here.
Yeah, we gonna be eating while we talking. You know what I'm saying during this episode, but.
So angry. I can't wait to take a bite.
Why we supposed to do that together, nigga?
Sink, right? You just have to be the
What's
one.
wrong with you?
Fat ass. I told you.
Rocking and shit, nigga.
I ain't gonna wait too long.
Sorry, I messed up.
Alright,
do your thing.
let's go ahead and introduce you, Judasia.
Yeah, so I am Chef Judasia Johnson. You also may know me as Yola Manola. I am a private chef here in the city. I be doing my thing. I have done cooking events at schools. I have done multiple private events, gatherings, and yeah. So today I prepared one of my favorite dishes, which is Arctic char with a roasted asparagus and a garlic herb mashed potato with a wonderful, beautiful lemon beurre blanc on top. So basically, I'm gonna tell y'all a little bit about Arctic char in case y'all don't know. It looks very similar to salmon. So it is of the salmonid family. It's very close relatives to salmon, but it actually has a higher fat content. So it allows the fish to be a lot more flaky, a lot more buttery, and a lot more flavorful. Yes.
That's what I want.
Yes, exactly. So what you should expect whenever you, it's all good. It's just a garnish.
Yeah, it's all good.
So what you should experience when you get into it, you should have a bit of a crispy skin on it, and then you should be able to just cut right into the middle and enjoy it.
There you go.
Game time. So shit.
My little, I
Yeah,
would be fucking with
it's
little
a garnish.
asparagus and
It's a
stuff.
garnish.
I ain't against asparagus niggas, but I'm about to try.
Asparagus, man.
Ooh, right.
Asparagus go stupid, nigga.
I say yeah.
Then here we go.
Hold on, gang.
Let's go ahead and tap. Oh, look at that. Good.
That skin,
Hold on,
that
gang.
Good
skin, nice
for it.
and crispy.
Shit, I'm gonna do one of these numbers with this.
I'm gonna go ahead and mix it up with the mac.
Ooh, I love it. I love it.
Okay then.
Okay.
You be doing your thing.
Are we doing one thing?
You be doing your thing.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
It's one of them.
Good deal. Yes. Yeah.
Hey, look, y'all. I'm gonna pick up my asparagus. I'm gonna go ahead and eat my little
Yeah.
asparagus.
Bite it from the tip.
The tip, right?
Yes,
Okay, got you.
exactly.
With
Yeah,
this audio, you're gonna hear a whole bunch of smacking and these
That's
mics about to
good.
sound crazy.
Yeah,
I waited to eat too, so-
Gotta hear all the
Going
goods.
crazy.
Yes. And that mashed potato was hand mashed, by the way, because I do that. We don't do box mashed potatoes around here.
I washed it.
Okay.
Shit, the fuck out of that.
Exactly, yes. And then I had a fried moment and didn't realize that the stove was off. But we recovered from that and we cooked them.
Going. All right, so let's get a little bit into you, and would you tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do, and how you kind of got into this chefing thing? We'll start off with that. Start with the chef side of you.
Okay, so basically how I got into cooking. I got my first job when I was 14 years old. I was like one of the only freshmen that I knew that had a job. I really didn't do too much on the weekends because that's really the only time that I could go to work because I had school during the day. So I started working, and then I just kind of worked my way through like every restaurant that I was in. I started front of the house and then I kind of moved back of the house to get some experience. And after working in the front, I really wanted to be the person putting out the food because I seen how it would change people's day whenever they have good food, whenever they have good conversation with people. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody can come into a place and they have a bad day, you can see it all over their face. And then you talk to them a little bit, you get their order, you get it correct, and you show them love, love that they may not have experienced throughout that day. And then they walking out of there with a smile, thanking you. You know what I'm saying? Like that is the best feeling for me. Like I love to make people happy, and one of the best ways to do it is with food and good food.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just started to work back at the house, and then after high school, I decided to go to Columbus State for an Associate of Arts degree, but that really wasn't along the lines of what I wanted to do. I really didn't know what steps I needed to take to get to where I wanted. So
Okay.
I just kind of navigated.
Which a lot of
my way
people, you know what I'm
through.
saying? A lot of people do have that
Yes.
issue.
Yeah, where you like, you know, change your course of
change
study,
your course,
and
yeah.
it
And that's
happens.
cool.
Yes,
That's
it
perfectly
happens.
fine.
Right.
So I found out about the culinary program there, and I got myself into the program, and then I was already working like in restaurants in the industry before I got to school.
Word,
So by
okay.
the time I got to culinary school, it's like I already had in the field experience. You know, so it's like if anything I needed to learn, it was just like stuff by the book, like definitions and history of cooking and culinary. Because like I told you before, that's what separates a chef from a cook. You know, is when you learn the art and when you learn the history, when you learn about your craft, you know, you're able to put everything into it. So yeah, I got into the culinary program, and then I just was like, I want to be a private chef. Like, I really don't like working as a line cook. I like working in restaurants, but it's like, it can get really, really, really draining sometimes.
Okay.
And when you start doing what you love for money, if you're not doing it the correct way, you're not going to want to do it anymore.
Word.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
So
right.
you have to find a way to do what you love, make it, you know, work for yourself as far as like an income, but still also make it very enjoyable for yourself.
You should be able to get paid for what you're passionate about.
Exactly.
Pay for your passion.
Exactly.
Get paid
So
for your passion.
when I cook for people, when I come into their homes, when I do private events for people, that's what makes me the happiest, because I can put my focus into stuff like this.
Yeah.
You know, I can take my time and finesse the plate.
Yeah.
I can get it right.
My
you know,
kitchen
like,
turned into your kitchen.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
exactly.
And you said that
That's
shit
what I
right
said.
when you
Yeah.
came in.
Don't get
When
your
I'm
mind
up
right
in
now.
my kitchen,
Talk your shit.
you know
Talk
what's
your
up.
shit.
Yeah, you can't. When I get up in the kitchen, you can't be in my way. You can watch. If you gonna be here, you gotta help make
Sit
yourself
your ass
useful or
down.
something.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Say how your mom
Go
said.
ahead,
you
and
know?
grab one of them spices out the cabinet.
Exactly. Watch this
okay.
fish for me. You know what I'm saying?
Hell
That shit
yeah.
is like, but that's the thing that I love about, you know, just being able to go to people's homes, is because it's 100% self-directed. You
Yeah.
know, I make my schedule. I choose when I'm going to work. I choose when who my clients are going to be, what my clientele is going to look like, and it gives me a lot of freedom. And when you have freedom, you also have to have discipline.
That's
I like that. You said you choose your clientele?
Yes. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So it's like
Wow.
if someone hits me up and it's like, depending on what the event it is that they're doing, like I only do private events. So I'm not going to do like a large birthday party. I'm not going to do, I'm very specific
Is there a
about
reason?
what I want
That's
to.
why I asked. I'm like, wow.
The reason is really because I enjoy and I respect food so much.
Wow.
And it's nothing like working with people who also enjoy and respect food.
You want it to be intimate, it sounds
It has
like.
to be
Yeah.
intimate.
we were talking
Yes.
about that. We like that
And a lot of
intimacy.
times, the larger the events are, the less care goes into the menu.
Word.
You
That's
know,
fair.
so I like to just be able to, like, 30 people max is what I'll do, because I can get to know those 30 people within the time.
Yeah, you
that
can
I'm
walk
there.
around,
I
you can
walk
talk,
around,
you
I
can-
converse.
Y'all like this shit?
Exactly.
You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right. Y'all fuck with this.
Exactly.
Don't lie to me. You like
Yeah.
Right, versus doing something with 100 people, you know, and it's like overwhelming, because I do it by myself right now, you know, so that's also another thing, because I do the menu planning, I do the marketing, I do the social media, I do, you know,
Everything.
the outreach, I do word of mouth, I do all of that, you know, I design my website, I design my flyers, I book the venues, you know, I plan the events. It's like that's everything is me. So
That's
with-
beautiful too.
Yeah.
You
Yeah, that's
do it
great.
all. Yeah, that's beautiful.
I be trying, man.
You're your
I gotta
own
keep
boss,
myself
you know.
busy. Exactly. And like I said, with being your own boss, with that kind of freedom, you have to have discipline.
Yeah.
You have to have discipline, because it's one thing to get up 8 a.m., you know, for work and to go clock in on somebody else's time. You know what I'm saying? And show up on time, leave on time. But can you do that for yourself?
Right.
Can you show up for yourself on time?
And with this on that side, like how do you keep yourself grounded within like being a chef and like keeping your time management right, knowing that you work for yourself, knowing that you cook for other people, and you got to know how to manage that out. Like how do you deal with that pressure, knowing you do this is all on you?
Well, honestly, one of the best ways that I have come to deal with the amount of pressure that comes from being, you know, your own boss is to just breathe. I know it sounds
Just
so
breathe.
basic. I know it sounds so basic, but to just breathe.
The basic words be meaning the most
Yes.
because
yes.
a lot of people don't look into them like that.
Yes.
They just look at it as
Well, they overcomplicate them.
exactly. We always try to make something way more complex. than
Yes,
it is.
overthinking, yes. And I am not like, I am not the most organized person. You know what I'm saying? I am the most organized when it comes to my business and when it comes to my clients. Like, but it's like I just have to. It's easier when you're organized. It's easier when you have things in folders and files and labeled and stuff like that. It just it makes the day. It makes your work a lot more efficient. You know, so keeping that in mind, remembering that I literally have the power to create whatever reality for myself that I want to create.
Talk like, that talk, sister. Talk that talk.
Literally, it all is how you think about things and how you see things. And
it's your mental.
Excuse me.
So it's your mental. And I know that you wanted to talk about like mental health. You know.
Yes.
So I would love for you to kick that off. You know what I'm saying? Because I know that's just an important factor with any field of anything, you know what I'm saying? So, just give us a little bit about that.
So,
by the way, this meal was great. You did an excellent job.
This shit bust.
I'm actually getting a little full,
but I'm trying to talk.
Yeah, so my little fat ass was over here just for this shit.
Right.
You know,
we know y'all can throw down, you know, and I see you ate that skin, and that's the part
bro,
that
the
I
skin
love
was
when the skin is yes, see? That's what I'm talking about. That's why I love Arctic char and then I can see it's cooked beautifully on the inside.
On the inside, God.
Yes. If I was in Hell's Kitchen right now, he would be like, Judasia, it's cooked beautifully. I already know.
Right. That nigga still be yelling, but
he would have yelled at me.
So you did your little thing and whatnot.
Exactly. Mental health. Yes. A huge reason why I wanted to talk about this is because I see with so much heaviness that's going on in the world right now. I've been losing a lot of friends. I've been losing a lot of family. And a lot of the time we take for granted the people who we have right in front of us when they are here right in front of us and when they are with us, you know, and it can be hard sometimes when you see somebody going through something that is affecting them mentally. It's not always going to show, they're not always going to want to talk about it, you know what I'm saying? But as someone who loves them, as someone who cares about them, just pay attention to people, you know what I'm saying? It's like, be aware, like, really be genuine with the people who you consider your friend, you know what I'm saying? Exactly, be genuine, you know, like, I know it sounds crazy, but check on people, hit people up, let your pride, let your ego aside for a second when it comes to checking on people, especially people who may have expressed that they are going through something and that they are going through something that is, you know, eating them up. It's like, just be aware. Do your best to be aware, and
because you never know.
You never know. You never know.
Today that we're getting into that, like I got a message on Instagram from like one of my big sisters. Shout out to her. Santana had sent me a thing, and it was pretty much saying like, you know, give people their flowers while they're here. Don't wait till they're gone. Don't wait till they're away, or if they're here, they're still alive. They're still well. Shit, they're around you. You know, more than you want them to be, or whatever it is. Just give people their flowers and tell them you love them while they're here. Because when they're gone, it's always, I wish I could have. Bro, we got to start supporting each other and, like I said, looking out for each other, like you said, like while we're here. Don't wait till it's too late, because there's going to be a day where you might feel it's too late.
Exactly. You never know. Yes, and that kind of regret, like I am seeing a lot of people go through that, like losing siblings, losing friends, like and it is so painful. And in addition to looking out for the ones that you love, but also look out for yourself. You know, it is okay to be selfish sometimes, because if you don't take care of yourself, no one is going to take care of you how you are supposed to take care of you. You know what I'm saying? Like, show up for yourself.
That's where breathe comes from. You know what I mean? Like, that's for you. Like, that ain't for nobody else but you.
Literally.
For sure.
Show up for yourself. If nobody shows up for you, show up for yourself. Tell yourself that you can do something over and over and over again until you really believe you can do that shit. You know, like, and if you are going through depression, if you are going through anxiety, if you are going through anything that is making you feel heavy, please do your best to reach out to somebody. Do your best to find outlets, to other ways to express, other ways to direct that energy. You know, just be transparent with the people that you love, and be transparent with yourself.
I like that.
And take care of yourself.
I want to ask you something now that we're in the mental health. Even with this shit, with being a chef, like, was there ever times where your mental health or your mental capacity was so just shot, or just so crazy you want to give up on this shit?
Yeah, like all the time. As a business owner, especially as a small business owner in the beginning, the first few years, you want to give up almost every single day, especially the days where you just put in like $500 on doing something one day, and you know you're not gonna see that you return in a minute, and it's like you just put in $500, and you know you could have did something else with that $500, and now you got it the next couple of days is tough because you invested in yourself. But it's like, I'm sorry, I don't remember what the question was.
So pretty much, it's all good. You was going though. But it was pretty much just about like with your mental health within owning your business and being a chef. Is there ever points when you wanted to give up, or just wanted to not do this because, like I said, you see that a lot where people get on their high horse and doing something somewhere else and going so well, and then once that mental state kicks in, you just like, man, fuck this, I want to give up on everything.
Exactly, yeah. So the times where you invest in yourself and you don't see that return, that's like, man, fuck this.
You just get depleted, yeah.
Right, exactly. Like, I'm putting in all this money just, to get a few claps and a few, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Oh, good job. And it's like, okay, but where the real support at type shit, So there's been a lot of times, and then whenever you get stuck, when you feel like you've done so much, and it's like, well, what do you do next? What's the next step that I take? Like, how do I elevate my business? And that, those are moments
like
to where if you
blocks.
if you can't think of this stuff, you want to put it down. You know what I'm saying? And then if somebody has a bad experience, like when I was just serving my food somewhere, it's like there was one person who just like found a way, to be upset, and it was so hard on me because it's like, you see me back here doing this by myself. I'm busting out all of these orders, and you want to get mad at like something so small because like the server like took the plate to the wrong table, but she didn't like set it down, and then like, you know what I'm saying? It was just like, okay, yeah, no, that's not their table. We'll take it over. He's like, oh no, I don't want it. It's an older
something as simple as that.
So simple, and it's like I have 4 or 5 tickets backed up in the kitchen where it's not a full service kitchen. There's no stove. There's just an oven. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and I was serving a lot of people. It was on a Saturday. Like that was a moment. And it's like, no, fuck this shit. I appreciate it.
Come back here, making your damn self.
Exactly. Like, no, I am trying. And it's like everybody else was so happy,
right.
And he was just like, yeah, nah, fuck this shit. And he actually got up and walked out. Like dang, like that kind of stuff is very discouraging. Yes, and that's one thing that I have to remember when I do want to give up. It's like, as much as I love to make people happy, it's like everybody doesn't have the same taste buds.
Right.
So everybody isn't going to be satisfied. But as far as like mental health being involved, I feel like one of the main reasons that I also started my private chef service is to keep myself busy. This is one of my outlets to keep myself.
And that's what I was going to say. Do you have any other outlets, to keep you focused, or to keep you?
Because you are a woman of many talents.
Yes,
I see a lot. I see a lot. I see that a lot.
So,
especially on your social media, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So you got some things going on. So.
I do all kinds of stuff. So in addition to the private chef service, I am also an artist. So I do a little bit of singing, I do some rapping. I really like to focus on writing. I never like to call myself a singer, rapper, and writer. But, I'm an artist, exactly. And I love to create. I love to write. And I actually had just picked up my guitar again. So I'm teaching myself to play the guitar. That's one of my outlets. So I roller skate, and I've gotten really, really good with
I just seen you at the rink not too long ago.
Yes, exactly. I just learned how to do that stuff within the past year. So taking the time to do that. I've gotten into reading a lot more.
Right.
Let's see what else. I feel like there's something that's so like right there that I do that I'm not getting right now, but yeah, like performing.
You do have a lot of
right. I'm like, there's something else. Oh yeah, so I'm gonna keep this very, very brief, and y'all are getting like an exclusive on this.
I told y'all we get
the exclusives, man, in the city, man.
Always get an exclusive. I'm telling you.
Yes, I am going to be collabing with a very, very well-known designer in the city, and I will be designing a line of clothes. And that's all I can say right now. That's all I can say right now.
That's exclusive for today, man.
There it is.
And I also offer like marketing service as well. So I do website building. Yep. I do like flyers for online. If you're like having an event, you need a menu printed or you need something printed out. You know what I'm saying? You want
Judaisha's middle name is Do It All.
Really? And I do have 3 middle names. That's the crazy thing about it.
One of them is
Do It All.
All right, so into the music side of you. When did you find that first love for music?
If I'm to really go back to it, it's like I've been into music since I was a kid. Like my grandmother, she's traveled and she's done. My grandmother did a song with Shaka Khan.
Whoa!
My grandmother met Jackson 5. She had dinner with them. Yes,
we didn't ask you about. I'm glad we didn't ask you.
Yes, my grandma she's been around the world. My mother, she was a singer. She can sing really, really good. I have like family who sing. You know what I'm saying? It's like my father, he was involved in the music industry. He used to like make beats and stuff like that. I used to sit down in the basement for hours on his big keyboard with the mixer board making the beats. Like for real, like in high school, like when I took music theory with Mr. Aldridge. Mm-hmm. Like I used to go home and sit down on my keyboard.
Talent shows, bro.
Exactly.
Talent shows on life.
Hey, I'm gonna tell y'all this right now for the people that I be telling. She know I used to could dance back in the day, bro. I was a dancing ass nigga, bro.
Oh, show him right now.
I will not. I retired.
Do a backflip right now.
I person here that knows I was a dancing ass nigga, bro.
I didn't think about Kelly.
Oh my god.
So that's a little bit of what I've been doing, and those are my outlets, things that I do to keep me busy, things that I do to try to keep my mind from, going out of this world, because there is a war on our souls right now, and I have just
that was a bar.
That was a bar, war on our souls.
I do want to stay with music. What is next? Like, we're expecting a single, an EP, collab with somebody. What's next, man? What you got going on with this music stuff?
That's the interesting thing about me with music right now is because I really enjoy the opportunity of being able to release things when I want to.
Yeah, just do it how you want.
I make my own schedule. I do my own thing. So I like being able to create when I want.
It's just fun. It's just a fun thing. You know what I mean?
That's what's up. Yes. That's good to hear, because like I said, everybody wants to make something into something. Maybe into a career or something that can take you on to making money or whatever. Yes. But it's good to just hear people say, "I just do it for fun."
Exactly.
It's for the love.
I just do it for the love of it. Yes. Music. It's so good to hear you say, "I just wake up and create music because I can."
Exactly. Literally.
And I'm good enough at it that I feel like I make good enough music. I'm just gonna make it.
Just make it. Yes. But I do have a future collab coming up with my homegirl Rakia. Shout outs to Rakia.
Okay. Shout out to Rakia.
She's actually from Rhode Island.
Okay.
She came to the city and she's been tearing it up since she
word.
Shout out to her.
So her and I, we have some stuff going on together. Yes, and then I don't have like any solidified collabs just yet, because people are asking me to do collabs. But, beyond Rakia, that's my homegirl. Mm-hmm. I don't think I'm like in a place to do collabs just yet. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm saying that now because I can't say that to people individually. But everybody that's been hitting me up for a collab, I haven't been ignoring y'all. It's not that I don't fuck with y'all. I just literally have to give myself time to develop my sound. Exactly. And to get into that space, to invite others into what I create. Mm-hmm. Because ultimately, me doing a song with somebody, we not about to just hop up in the booth and record it. No, it's like we gotta connect. We have to vibe. I have to feel your energy. You have to, so yes.
Can't just be anybody.
My last question before I let Dojo do his thing and take over. What is your dream collab? If there's anybody in the world you can collab with that said, "Hey, let's do it," who would it be?
I feel like I just recently wanted to work with this person, and everybody knows her, Jill Scott.
Oh, okay.
I didn't like. I've never been like a heavy Jill Scott fan. Like everybody typically is, and it's not because I just don't like her music. It's just I didn't really hear a whole lot of her music beyond the songs that everybody knows. Right. But then recently, like with me going on like this journey and this transition that I have been going through, I've been listening to a lot of her music. And it's like, yo, I would love to do a song with this woman. Like she. And other than that, honestly, it's not really too many people that I could think of doing a collab with because I'm pretty dope myself. So,
yeah, you just like making music.
They want to collab with me, you know?
Real shit.
It's just celebrity that's like dying to collab with me right now. I didn't even know it.
There you go. That's why I'm motherfucking here, man. I'm trying enough money all day.
Whose dream collab am I? Is the better question.
So I got a question. It's kind of steering back toward being your own boss. As far as like having resources, how did you go about just having those resources for your business, and how important do you think it is to give those resources out to others?
Very important. It's super important to be as resourceful as possible, and we all have knowledge at our fingertips with these devices in our phones. Literally, there's so much knowledge here. We just have to utilize it. But how I went about gathering resources for my business, honestly, the best advice I would say is going through school.
Yeah.
Regardless of what it is that you want to do. If you take online classes, if you take like a couple week classes, you know what I'm saying? Even just something.
Yeah.
Because those people in your classroom, your classmates, your instructors, you know what I'm saying? Those are resources right there. Those are people who are going to connect you with other people, especially people who work with you, people who are evaluating your work, and then people who are observing your work. Like, those are going to be your resources. Those are going to be the people who spread your name.
You're always steps away from doing, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So
and you have to also.
So good to hear that you say that.
It's tough. And it's true stuff. It's like a lot of people don't think about their classmates, in a few years, being a possible partner. One of the people who I went to school with, like, he's an executive chef at a restaurant right now. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's awesome. It's like, stuff like that. It's beautiful. And it's like we all hung out as classmates, stuff like that. My instructors, they have put me into positions with jobs that I probably wouldn't have gotten, just not knowing anybody. Right. So just connecting with like-minded people who have the same or a similar goal as you, but they have different approaches. You know what I'm saying? And then also having the faith to get out there and use yourself as a resource. You know what I'm saying? Talk to people. Present yourself. Wherever you're going, represent yourself as a business. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Talk to people. Spread the word. When you have a conversation with somebody, find a way to bring up your business. Find a way to relate what you are talking about with that person already to what you do.
And we talked about how word of mouth is so it's number one. Number one way.
Because I want to say it's always a way to be able to get off if you do it the right way. So like being able to let somebody know you're into something, or you have this service you can offer without feeling like you're shoving it down their throat.
Yeah, you're not a salesman.
Yeah, or you're not. Yeah, you don't gotta be a salesman, but it's just like you gotta let it flow into it.
Yes.
Now, if I'm having a great conversation with you and that conversation carries on to something else, then fine, you don't gotta mention it. But if you just know what you're talking about and you know what you're doing, it will naturally happen.
Yeah. Literally.
There's a lot of times where we'll be running into people, we'll be talking to people, and somebody will come up to us, or now, just off the strength, like, we'll just naturally flow and be like, yeah, me and John just got a podcast. Like, there's a situation we're about to get put in with our podcast to be able to help give back to kids. Exactly. And literally just off of talking to someone, listening to them, just we going back and forth. Like, it just presented itself.
Yeah,
so don't feel like you got to force feed shit to people. Or you also have your people that's like, nah, I'm going to just get it on my own. I ain't going to say nothing to them because I don't want to feel like I used them for help, or I had to go to them and, they taking advantage of me now, and just we get caught up in our minds and thinking like, oh man, I don't know, I'm cool, I don't need no help.
Yeah, and that's another thing also. Being used, I know being used has such negative connotations on it, but don't be afraid to be utilized. Instead of saying used, say utilized. Don't be afraid to let somebody utilize you and what you do. You know what I'm saying? And don't be afraid to utilize somebody for their services.
Okay,
and what they do.
I like that.
Utilize. Exactly.
That one gotta stay up here.
Because we need people. At the end of the day, we need each other in some shape, form, or fashion. If you don't recognize the need that you have for somebody right now, you may recognize that need 10 years later. But how did you treat them 10 years ago when you didn't think you needed them?
Okay. Like
utilize people, recognize. You have mentioned with you doing your coaching, it's like you're able to recognize kids' talents and what they would be best at doing.
Exactly.
Do the same thing with your field and with the people that you work with. Recognize what people are into. Recognize what people like, and find a way to connect with that. Find a way to, you know what I'm saying? Get in where you fit in, literally.
Connect the dots.
Yes, because in business, that's what it is. I don't know if y'all familiar with the biology term. It's a mutualistic relationship. Yeah. So that's basically when two organisms. Two organisms, they are benefiting from each other.
Yep.
Okay.
It's the same thing with business.
What is the other one? Parasitic
relationships is when one person is providing something and the other one is
just taking
benefiting.
it.
Yes,
Yeah.
and this source is just being drained, but this source is being uplifted.
It sucks to say, but sometimes that's how we feel in our community.
Yes.
We feel like like when it looks at like as we're getting older. And our parents are there with the terminology, when you turn 18, you can get your ass out. That's how they feel. Like, I've done 18 years of work, now you're considered an adult in the world, so go ahead and get. So that's where
you have no idea. You have no idea.
You have no clue what's going on. So that second term y'all use, that's where that comes from. And we get that in our minds we do the same thing to ourselves and with other people. We sit on something or we use someone so much instead of just becoming here, we're just going here because it's just like that's the way we were trained.
Exactly. Yes.
And now it's just it's getting out of that and it's breaking barriers.
Breaking barriers.
Yeah,
yes,
so
that's good.
Yeah, it's definitely a good one. As far as as far as breaking barriers, how do you feel like you would benefit by breaking down those barriers? You know what I'm saying? Even just for the future chefs or future self, just future people. You know what I'm saying? And in your future as well. How important is it to break down those barriers?
I mean, it's so important to break down barriers, but you got to recognize that you got barriers in front of you first. You got to recognize that you got challenges in front of you first, and then you develop a plan on how you're going to get through that barrier.
For sure.
Develop a plan. Set a goal. Develop a plan. You always going to get there.
Yeah.
I guarantee it.
I love that.
That's how. that's one of the best ways, the easiest ways to break a barrier is to set a goal. Set a goal to break this barrier.
Thank you.
And you're gonna break this barrier in a few months. I guarantee you. Tell yourself over time, I'm gonna break this barrier. Don't rush yourself. It may not be today. It may not be tomorrow. It may not be next week. But you got it in mind that you are going to break that barrier, and I guarantee you're gonna break it. And I guess. How I can elaborate how important it is to break barriers is to give examples of how I have broken barriers. In my opinion, it's like I'm from the hood. That's where me and my family. That's where we're from. Moved to the suburbs. It's like we've been on both sides of the spectrum. But even still, where I grew up, it's like you're not expected to own a business. You know what I'm saying? You're not expected to have an LLC, to be working for yourself, to be like managing a kitchen, like that kind of stuff. That's not what they do where I'm from.
Us and knowing you younger to see where you are now, bro.
Yes.
To see where we are now, you know what I'm saying?
Right, for sure. But we talking
about you.
To see where you
it's
are
so
right
beautiful,
now, bro.
It's so beautiful, bro.
I am beyond proud, my nigga.
100%, bro. So proud of you, bro.
I ain't never told you this, but you always get that good energy from your people. But bro, I am telling you today, if you don't ever hear me say it again, my nigga, I am so so proud of you,
Thank
bro.
you.
Because I know the old us. Well. I know the old us well.
That's
to
what
be
I'm
able
saying.
to sit here and talk to you about this shit and the way the conversation is going, bro, you are blowing my mind. So,
and even our meeting before this,
saying,
like,
bro?
I was just like,
Nobody
oh,
else tell you
this is
shit,
beautiful.
Bro.
You know what I'm saying?
Nobody else tell you this shit. I am so proud.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all
for
so
sure.
much.
You are
Y'all know
doing
what's
your
up.
thing, bro.
Yeah, we know what's up.
That's what I'm saying. So when you mentioned that, like coming from the hood and just seeing, we were hood babies. Like we showed that parking every day.
Street kids.
Literally.
When we was young in high school, we showed that about us.
Man.
We showed it. We didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
So now to see that we still have that a part of us, but we know how to carry it and we know how.
We know how to carry ourselves.
You know what I'm saying? We know how to carry ourselves. So it's good to see that. Like he said, all of us. But
and
right
then
now,
we're all doing something in the community.
That's what I'm saying.
To reach out to
in
people.
The city.
You know what I'm saying? To be that resource that we may not have had when we was in school. It's like we are becoming that resource.
Facts.
Like that
crazy.
is beautiful.
That shit crazy.
It's beautiful, man.
Right.
And I am blessed to even say that I have broken down barriers that I didn't think I was going to surpass myself.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I always wanted to go to college, always wanted to graduate. But in high school, once stuff got rocky, like once I left West Elm, it's like stuff was crazy. I didn't think I was going to graduate.
Like that wasn't even a thought. Yeah.
That wasn't, yes. I was focused on surviving. I was living. I was taking care of myself at 14 years old. I was focused on living. I didn't do sports. I didn't go to prom. I didn't do none of the fun stuff in school because I was trying to survive. I was trying to be straight. I was trying to make it to school the next day.
Talk your talk, bro.
Like, and to know that here I am now, the high school that I graduated from, I do cooking classes there with the students sometimes. You know, like someone just reached out to me to be their mentor, and here I am looking for a mentor. You know what I'm saying? It's like that kind of stuff is amazing. Like I've been on the news. Yes, I've been on the news with my business. I've been on the radio with my business. Like I have traveled alone for my business. You know what I'm saying? It's like people don't do that where I'm from. So those kinds of barriers right there, they ain't nothing when you tell yourself you can do whatever it is that you want to do. I'm telling you, when you set a goal when you want to achieve that goal, ain't nothing gonna stop you from doing it. That's just what it is.
I love it.
Look
so
at that, man. You are becoming somebody's mentor, and we're just having this conversation and you saying that, man. I'm telling you. Like I told you, that experience is your mentor. So now you're able to go out here and get that to somebody that needs it. Yeah. The experience taught you how to be who you are. Going through life taught you to be who you are. Yes. Now you're able to help somebody break down their barriers and be able to go and do what they need to do in their life as their mentor.
Yep. Exactly.
So what's next? What is next for Judasia?
What's next?
Superwoman. What's next for Superwoman?
Right.
So, as far as food specifics, I do have some interesting stuff working with food specifics. I am going to be transitioning. I don't want to say transition because I'm still going to have the LLC, but I'm going to move forward with transitioning to a nonprofit organization. So that way I can do community events for students, do more volunteer work, because food costs money, and it's so difficult to try to do it now when I come out of pocket with everything. But it's like if I'm able to like accept donations and I'm able to, you know what I'm saying, like to do that exchange, it'll be a lot more helpful.
Yeah, for sure, 100%.
And it'll give me the opportunity to bring people on board. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Yes. Using my resources. Yes. So that's what's next for food specifics. I have a website, www.foodspecificsllc.com. You can stay on that website.
We'll post all of these socials and links. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
On the episode.
Definitely show the love for sure.
I do. If y'all follow me on Instagram, YOLA_MANOLA. I do have a performance coming up on the 23rd, so you can find the details there. And anything that I have coming up, anything that I have going on, I'll always post it on my social media or my website. So if you want to know what's up, just keep up with me.
Oh, I like that.
Keep up with me.
Ray B, you got anything else?
Yeah.
Man, just stay beautiful.
Exactly.
Stay
peace, love, and prosperity. Thank y'all so much for having me.
Oh,
on
yeah,
the show.
for sure.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for this good ass meal.
No problem.
We about to come kill this.
It ain't no thing. Yeah.
It has been In the City Podcast. It's John, aka Dojo.
And it's your boy Ray B.
And we are out of here.
Peace.
That was beautiful.
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah.